Hey, good morning, folks. Today is Sunday, February 9th, 2020. Just got a new packet in the mail. I don't think this is any silver. I don't recall ordering any silver, but I am going to start ordering a lot more. We got the coronavirus spreading in China. We just had our first U.S. fatality from the coronavirus here in the United States. Um, 14 people so far have been confirmed infected in Thailand. I mean, this thing is spreading. Uh, Last week, the Russian government closed down over 2,000 miles worth of border with China, a border that they share with China. So, yeah, being that China is the number one producer of consumable goods, um, it's interesting to see what kind of effect we're going to see on our economy. But nonetheless, I got a packet here I'm going to open up. I remember ordering some, I think this is boot polish for my work boots to keep them looking new, to keep them looking sharp. You got to look good. You got to try to look good. I'm a technician, I'm a mechanic. So I can only do so much to maintain a professional appearance at work. But I think it goes a long way when you try to represent the shop in a good way. Sometimes supervisors notice that, and they. I think the assumption is that you do all of your work. They say how you do one thing is how you do everything, and I have found that to be especially true with the people I've known and the experiences that I've had. So, without further ado, I'm going to open this up. I got this from Amazon. I just recently became an Amazon Prime member, so I'm enjoying that. I live in Lake Paris, and we have a warehouse less than 5 miles down from where I live, north from where I'm at. So, typically get things relatively quick, and yet, just as I thought, this is my boot polish. So I got. Now, I was in the Marine Corps, and we used a different brand. I forgot the name of it, but it's got like a little mouse on the is their logo. I think it's called Kiwi. I don't know. You guys will have to look them up, but that one's really good. Anyway, this one's a little bit cheaper, so I thought I would give them a try. And if I'm not mistaken, well, the label's all covered up on both of them. I think these are made in the U.S., and I'm a big fan of domestically produced goods. I think it strengthens our economy. Let me see here. John Lincoln. Oh, I can't see it. Can't read it upside down. Claremont, New Hampshire. I'm assuming this is made in the US. So I'll have to confirm that, but I always like the smell of these. Let me see here. This one's neutral. So if you have like brown work boots like I do, I bought a set of boots from the All American Clothing Company. This is what I'll be using for those. And then I have a set of military style steel toes. I'll be using the black for that one. So if you get like a scuff mark, you get your little boot brush, you put some on there, and then you brush it off, and it looks good as new. So, oh yeah, that smells good. Not as good as the other one that I'm used to, but I'm gonna give these a try, and we'll see how it goes. It's the price was lower, and you get more product. I think the container's a little bit smaller for the other one, the Kiwi product, but I think that's what it's called. Um, anyway, the other one is a proven winner. You can't go wrong. Here, it's a brand that I'm not familiar with, so I'm taking a chance. And I mean, it's boot polish. How hard could it be to make a quality boot polish, right? So I think it's gonna work out pretty good. Let me see if this one. Who knows? This might even turn out to be a better product. You know, sometimes spending more doesn't always equate to a better product. So, but yeah, I wanted to give these a chance. Open up, open up. There it goes. This one does not have a strong of a smell as the other one. So who knows? The other one might be packed a little bit denser with the active ingredients that make your boots look great. So we'll see. I'm gonna try these out. I don't have my boots here with me. I leave them at work. So I'm gonna try them out, and hopefully everything works out. Everything works out good. So, hey, I'm just noticing my timer. It says I have 53 minutes. 53:10. So that might be how much time I have. So I can make this video 53 minutes long. Wow. I don't know what I would talk about, but I was gonna tell a story about basic training. When I was in the Marine Corps, I grew up in Southern California. And when I was in the Marine Corps, it was the first time that I had ever seen people chewing tobacco. I mean, I had heard of it, but I never really knew what it was. And then I started noticing that everybody was doing it. And they would in the Marine Corps, they'll make you walk around with a beverage container, but you have to tape it up so that the label is covered, and also you can't see what's in it. So a lot of times people will wrap it in duct tape or electrical tape, so that way you can't see the contents of it. And people will be walking around with these, and they'll have their chewing tobacco packed into their bottom lip, and they'll occasionally spit into this bottle. So they're basically walking around with a bottle full of spit. And I thought that was the grossest, most disgusting thing, because I wasn't used to it. Anyway, I guess the first few times you see that, you're like, God, that is gross. How can anybody do that? But then after about 5 or 6 months of seeing that, it becomes normal. You become desensitized, and it's not so gross anymore. It's just a normal thing. So we were out doing this training exercise out in the mountains, out in the hills, out in Camp Pendleton. And one of my friends, he asked me to try it. He's like, here, why don't you give it a try? Because I was asking him a few questions about it, and oh, what does it feel? What's it? I heard it's fiberglass, and so he's explaining it to me. And the fiberglass is there, so it cuts into your tissue, and that way the bloodstream soaks up the stimulant, whatever's in there, the tobacco. And then you get really high really fast, or not high, but you get a buzz. So I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. Let me try it. So anyway, you got to try it, right? So he didn't have any. We went to this dude who we knew always had chewing tobacco, because I don't think I ever saw him without chewing tobacco in his lip. So we went to this guy. This guy was from I forget where he was. I think he was from Georgia. I don't know. He was one of those chewing tobacco states. And So you're supposed to like pack it, and you're supposed to make a noise that sounds like, but they do it, they whip it like this. For those of you that have never seen this, I know there's people out there that haven't. So you're what you're trying to do, and I didn't know this at the time, is you're trying to pack the contents of the container. Obviously, it wouldn't be this container; it would be like actual chewing tobacco. So you're trying to pack it into one side, so that when you open it, you take a little pinch, and it doesn't fall apart on you. Well, I didn't do that part right, and I don't know why. I can imagine why they let me do it, because they knew I wasn't gonna do it right. So I did it. I didn't do that part right, and then it's like falling apart on me. I put this little pinch on between my gums and my lips, and I have it there, and I'm like, oh, in my mind I'm thinking this tastes so gross, but I didn't want to say anything because I knew they'd be laughing. And then I started getting a headache, and then I started getting a stomach ache, and I felt dizzy. I felt like I was gonna fall and hit the floor. So I laid down. I figured if I'm already on the floor, I can't fall and butt my head or anything, right? So I'm laying down, and then I roll, and I start spitting all that stuff out. And my boy, he's supposed to be like my friend. He's just standing there laughing. He's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" Laughing the entire time. And he's like, "Hey," he's calling these other dudes. He's like, "Hey, you guys got to see this." I guess it could be funny. It wasn't funny when it was happening because it was me, but I think if it were someone else, I would have been laughing. I laugh at stupid things all the time, but anyway, yeah, I felt like I was gonna puke, and I actually did, but not at that moment. Like much later, it just kept bothering me, and because I didn't pack it tight, it kind of lingered. It stayed in my mouth. It was dissolving, and I think some of it might have gone. I think I might have swallowed some of it. Um, anyway, that was disgusting. That was my first and last time chewing tobacco. So now you people know, those of you that have never tried it, what it's like, and you don't even have to try it. But anyway, yeah, I was never really meant for tobacco products. Um, it's just kind of not my thing. But yeah, I tried it. I had to try it because everyone was like, I had to see what all the fuss was about. And yeah, it kicked my ass. Shouldn't have done that. I don't know if I regret it, but I guess it gives me a story to tell. Now I have that story. Um, and it was kind of funny looking back on it now. I guess it was funny that I couldn't handle it. But anyway, just thought I'd share that with you so you can it would make the time go by better when you're looking at this image of these two boot polish containers that I just picked up from Amazon. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and give me a thumbs up. Have a good one.